anybody actually stop Chelsea from winning this season's Premier League? We'll take a look at that and more next. Once again, another prediction video today. We're looking forward to match day number 6 in the Premier League, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new, way in, smash your subscribe and get your bang of day. All things Blackburn Rovers related, Premier League related, world football related. We got it all here, boys. Under one roof. Yeah, I say all that. I say Chelsea. Can anybody stop them? Really, they are top of the pops, but of course, breathing down the necks are Liverpool and Manchester United, and of course, Brighton. Of course, they're all in the thick of things at the moment. But of course, ain't anyone's going to stop the blue machine. That is, of course, Chelsea. We'll take a look at that and more, of course, in just a second. Big shout out to my VRPs. I'm talking about my pay tree on. Big shout out to you guys. Thank you for your support. Of course, if you're helping out, want to help us out, check out the link down below. Patreon.com/Rover6. But anyway, let's get the deep end. Of course, look back. Of course, this past weekend. Of course, see how that blue machine got on against Spurs. Absolutely incredible stuff at the moment. Looking good. Here we go, though, kicking it all off. It was on the weekend, Friday action. It was the Geordies up against Leeds, and all square 1-1 in the end. Called it, boys. Absolutely called it. Meanwhile, Brentford got their was it second or third win? Second win of the campaign. 2-0 win over Wolves at Molineux. Wolves could be in a bit of trouble at the moment. I was a big advocate of Bruno Lage when he came in for Wolves. I thought, it was a great appointment. Of course, an unknown appointment, to be fair, outside of Portugal. But of course, it might not work out for them in the end, in the grand scheme of things, depending on what goes on below them. Meanwhile, Burnley. I couldn't get a win against Arsenal. 1-0 win for Arsenal. Goodness gracious, thank heavens for that. That puts them in the relegation zone. 4-year deal, Sean Dye. So you're bought into it. Liverpool, though, they did get winners over 3-0 over Crystal Palace to go second in the table behind Chelsea. New Man City can only muster a draw. 0-0 in the end. Goodness gracious me. Against Adam Armstrong, Southampton. Absolutely incredible. Meanwhile, Norwich City against Watford was a 3-1 win for Watford. Of course, they move up to 11th. Of course, Norwich already in trouble. We already knew that. Yet to get going with any points. Aston Villa against Everton. Big win for Aston Villa. 3-0 win up to 10th. I did say they were 5th in my early door predictions. Goodness gracious me. What was I thinking then? But of course, statement of intent there. Brighton against Leicester City. Big win for Brighton as well, up to 4th in the table. The season was to end today. They'd be in the Champions League, but of course they've got a lot of work to do. Meanwhile, of course, Ronaldo just ripping it up. They've got themselves a goal scoring machine. Whether it's tap-ins, long shots, whatever it is, you've got himself a banger. And I'm a big fan of Ronaldo. One day we'll bring him to Blackburn Rovers. When? How? Of course, we'll do it on the FIFA 22. That's how we'll do it. Next up, of course, we have Spurs against Chelsea. Ended up as a 3-0 win for Chelsea. Of course they did. Spurs, of course, were top of the table pre-international break. They're down to 7th now. Back-to-back defeats for them, of course, against back-to-back big boys. So this is the table as it stands. As you can see, Chelsea running away with it. Just 1 goal conceded, as of Liverpool as well. There's pretty much identical records there, depending on who you look. Well, whichever table you look at. But of course, in my eyes, it's Chelsea top. Of course, United are also on the same amount of points as well. Conceded a lot less. Scored more goals though. So looking good. It is looking good, lively. And the big thing for me is that Man City do look a little bit shit at the moment. They do look a bit weak up top. And of course, that's their own. They've got all the money. They're just being little shits. They should have shelled out for bloody Harry Kane, paid their 200, of course, or whatever it is, and then of course the situations would be different. They wouldn't be struggling in front of goal. So anyway, they're down to 5th. Of course, big loss to Everton as well. Down the foot of the table though. Let's end it right now. Newcastle, Norwich, and then Burnley going down. That's what we want to see. Anyway, that's of course the table at the moment. Let's take a look at the prediction league. Of course, this is the situation for this past week. A lot of picks in. Of course, Russell Frost and Joachim Jackson top of the pops there with 7. Look at Blackburn Rovers. He's up there with 6. Not me though. Some other dude. I don't even know who he is, but he's up there with 6. One of these days he's going to get up there top bins, and I'm going to go batshit crazy. Let's take a look at the grand scheme of things. It is Shepherd. Look at that. Big shout out to my admin, to my main man, to my kingpin. That is Shepherd. Well done to you. 32 points on the board. At the moment, you are the kingpin. If the season was to end today, you become the prediction king for bloody the Premier League. Max Sangani, though, is not too far away either, as is Tom Stainer. And, of course, the chasing pack, Conor Medlin, Eamon Hussein, and Gaming Child. Costas K, Liam 2000 in the top 5. And then, of course, a whole bunch of years as well. It is tight. Airtight at the top of the table. Keep on going. Keep on picking. Of course, look at Lembeck down there. You're here. If you don't know, you don't know. Anyway, of course, that's it. Get involved with the next one. Cut4/Premier League. Here it is. Match day number 6. How about it? Let's get into the deep end and have a look at the matches. There's some bangers, I think, this weekend. Is the old London affair. Look, Arsenal against Spurs, must win. And look at this, Chelsea against City. Of course, Chelsea against City will kick us all off this coming Saturday. early door kickoff. So no games on Friday. But anyway, let's jump in the deep end. Over at Stamford Bridge. It could be a 6-pointer. Win this. If Chelsea win this, City are already cut adrift. But anyway, pressure 56 times since 1993. 29 wins for Chelsea, 20 wins for City, and of course 7 draws. Biggest win for Chelsea over City, 6-0 win. The biggest win there was also a 6-0 win. Chelsea come to this winning 5 of the past 6 games. Meanwhile, City come to this winning 4 of the past 6. 75% form for them. Last time pressure over at Stamford Bridge was the one win for Chelsea. It was back in fact, scrap that. That might have been at Wembley, but of course it was the FA Cup semi-final 1-0 win for Chelsea. Last time pressure in Stamford Bridge in the Premier League was the 3-1 win for City. Wow. Of course, heading into this one, of course, Chelsea picked up a win against Spurs. They also picked up a win against St. Petersburg. They got 1, 2, 3 clean sheets on the bounce. Meanwhile, City coming to this on the back of a draw against Southampton. Of course, they'll be locking horns against Wickham tonight, as Chelsea will be taking on, of course, Aston Villa on Wednesday in the Catarata Cup. Look at the odds: 13-8 is your Chelsea, 9-4 is your draw, 7-4 is your away win. That is, of course, City. Tight. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I'm sitting on the fence on this one, but of course, realistically, Chelsea are not going to lose this game. But I just think City will rise up a little bit, of course, raise their game after their shit show that was, of course, against Southampton. Next, of course, I have Everton up against Norwich. Of course, must-win game for Everton. You would think must-win game also for Norwich to get the points on the board. These two sides have played each other, of course, 20 times since 1993. It's the Ben Godfrey derby. Played each other 9 wins for Everton, 5 wins for Norwich, and 6 draws. The biggest win for Everton. 3-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 5-1 win. Of course, Everton just 1 defeat past 6. Meanwhile, Norwich just 1 win in the past 6 games, coming into 17% form. Last time played over at Goodison Park was a 2-0 win for Norwich. In fact, goodness gracious me, the away side has actually won the last 3 matches between these two sides, going all the way back to 2016. In fact, Norwich have actually won the last 2 matches at Goodison Park in the Premier League and in the EFL Cup. So, and they were back-to-back clean sheets against them at Goodison Park. So I don't mind playing Everton over their neck of the woods. Coming into this one, though, of course, Norwich did lose to Watford. Of course, Everton did lose to Villa. Odds on this one: 20-11 on is your Everton, 40-5 is your draw. We got 5-1 is your Norwich. They are your long shots. Everton are your favourites on this one. I think they'll respond here with a 2-0 win to get themselves back to winning ways. Leeds United up against West Ham United, of course, at Ellen Road this weekend on Saturday, September the 25th. Played the 26 times in 1993. 15 wins for Leeds, 4 wins for West Ham, 7 draws. The biggest win for West Ham. 3-0 win. The biggest win away was a 5-1 win. West Ham have actually come into this just 1 defeat past 6. Meanwhile, Leeds just 1 win and 6. 42% form for them. West Ham coming to this unbeaten against Leeds in the last 4 matches, picking up back-to-back wins, of course, beating them at London Road and, of course, Ellen Road last time around over in December 2020. Coming to us on the back of the loss against United. They actually take on United again in the Catarata Cup on Wednesday night. Leeds, of course, entertain Fulham in the Catarata Cup tomorrow night, or even tonight, and then, of course, they'll be taking on West Ham here at Ellen Road. Look at the odds on this one. We have 95 is your Leeds, 25 is your 11-8 is your West Ham. Tight could go either way. I think I might have. No, I've gone with West Ham to bounce back. They need to bounce back because, of course, they're probably looking at this probably on the back of 2 defeats. Of course, I think I do anticipate them to lose again against United in the Catarata Cup. Next, of course, we have Leicester City up against Burnley. That's right. We need Leicester City to bounce back also on Saturday, September the 25th. Of course, we're closing in on another predictor of the month, of course, so make sure you get your picks in for this. Anyway, I played 30 times since 2002, 13 wins for Leicester, 9 wins for Burnley, and 8 draws. The biggest win for Leicester, 4-0 win. The biggest win in the way is a 3-0 win. Of course, Leicester comes to just 1 win in 5 for them. As for Burnley, 1 win in 6. Both teams looking for results. Of course, last time pressure over at the King Powers, a 4-2 win for Leicester. That was back in September 2020. Of course, Leicester did lose to Brighton. Prior to this, of course, Burnley did lose to Arsenal and Everton, so well, back-to-back defeats for them. Of course, on the odds, we have 50-8 on Leicester, 3-1 is your 11-2 is your long shots. That's Burnley. Going to go with a 3-0 win for Leicester at the King Power to get himself back to winning ways. So, of course, keep Burnley in the drop zone. Next up, we have Man United up against Aston Villa. That's right, over at Old Trafford. And, of course, both of these 2 teams are in action in the Catarata Cup. Of course, played each other 55 times in 1993. Just 3 wins for Aston Villa, 41 wins for United, and 11 draws. The biggest win for United, 4-0 win. The biggest win the other way was a 3-1 win. United come to this 1 defeat past 6. That 1 defeat was against Young Boys Burn. Meanwhile, Aston Villa comes to this 1 defeat past 5. Of course, looking very good at the moment. That's our pressure over at Old Trafford was in the Premier League back in January. It's actually New Year's Day 2021. 2-1 win for Villa. Sorry, 2-1 win for United. Woo! Of course, meanwhile, they did play each other at Villa Park and May. So back-to-back wins for United over Villa. Of course, Villa will be taking on Chelsea in the Catarata Cup. I'm sure they're going to get beaten in that one. Of course, United will take West Ham as well on this one. So we'll see how that pans out. But of course, on the odds, we have 11-4 on is your United, 4-1 is your draw, 32 is your away win. That's Aston Villa. United will win this one 3-0 and a clean sheet to boot. Next up, we have Watford up against Newcastle United. A bit of a relegation 6 statistics point of view, we think already. Of course, these two sides have played each other 17 times since 1999. 7 wins for Watford, 6 for Newcastle, 4 draws. The biggest win for the Watford, 3-0 win. The biggest win for the Bears, a 2-0 win. Of course, Watford coming to us winning 3 of the past 6. Meanwhile, Newcastle without a win in 6. And they're also already in trouble. Of course, last time played at Vicarage Road was a 2-1 win for Watford. That was back in July 2020 in the Premier League. Of course, heading into this one, we have 7-5 as your Watford, 21-10 as your Newcastle, and of course 11-5 as your draw. I'm going to go with the Hornets on this one, 2-1 win to take it to the bank. Here we go though, Brentford up against Liverpool over at the Community Stadium, is that what they call it? That's right. Never played each other. This will be the first time that these two sides lock horns, of course. Heading into this, Brentford have actually just lost once the past 6, 67% form. You and Liverpool come to this 92% form. This does, in all honesty, I think in my gut, if I was, I think Brentford could get a draw out of this. I think they could. I just think they're playing them for the first time. They don't want to lose it. But ultimately, I've got a feeling that it could be a draw, but my pick is completely different. Anyway, so the form is Brentford looks very, very good. As for the form for Liverpool, of course, winning 5 of the past 6 games. Of course, Liverpool will entertain Norwich in the Carabao Cup. Brentford will take on Oldham. Of course, will get themselves into shooting practice then. But of course, they'll lock horns coming on this Saturday. Odds on this one, we have Brentford 11-2 for the Richie, 94 on as your Liverpool, and of course 54 as your draw. So Brentford could get something out of this, but I've gone with a 3-1 win for Liverpool on this. Anyway, let's go forward. Of course, Southampton up against Wolves on Sunday, 26th of September at St Mary's. Played each other 19 times since 2003. 7 wins for the Saints, 6 wins for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and 6 draws. Of course, Southampton's just 1 defeat past 6 for them. As for Wolves, just 2 wins the past 6 for them also. What are we looking at here? 6-0 wins was the biggest win for the Saints. 3-0 win was the biggest win for the Wolves over Southampton, of course. Last time played at St Mary's was a 2-1 for Wolves. That was in the Premier League back in February 2021. Of course, Southampton coming to the back of that draw against Man City. Meanwhile, Wolves coming to the back of that loss against Brentford. The Saints will take on Sheffield United, I think, in the Carabao Cup. Meanwhile, Wolves will take on the Spurs, of course, again, in the Carabao Cup as well, this coming Tuesday and Wednesday, respectively. Look at the odds, 29-20 is your Saints, 11-5 is your, 58 is your, of course, Wolves. I think I've gone with the Southampton on this one, 2-1 win. Maybe Adam Armstrong gets himself a bloody goal on this one. And then, of course, the All-London affair on bloody Sunday, September 26th. It is Arsenal, it is Spurs, it is over at the Emirates. Of course, played 65 times since 1993. 25 wins for Arsenal, 50 wins for Spurs, and 25 draws. The biggest win for Arsenal, 5-2 win. The biggest win anyway was a 5-1 win. Arsenal covered this winning 3 out of 4. Meanwhile, Spurs without winning 3. Of course, last time played over at the Emirates was a 2-1 win for Arsenal. That was back in March 2021. The away side haven't won this game in a long time. Last time the away side won was in the EFL Cup quarterfinal. Of course, Spurs beat Arsenal. Last time the away side won in the league was a 2-1 win. Nope, scrap that. It was a 1-0 win for Arsenal over Spurs at wherever back in 2014, of course. Anyway, odds on this one: 5-4 is your Arsenal, 11-5 is your Spurs, 9-4 is your draw. I think I've gone with a 2-2 draw. Again, sitting on the fence on this one, but I think deep down my gut says Arsenal on this one. But I'm going to go with the draw, trying to get myself a point on this one. And then, of course, Crystal Palace will take on Brighton on Monday night. That's right, over at Selhurst Park. Played the 19 times in 2002. 8 wins for Palace, 5 wins for Brighton. This is a derby, isn't it? They call this a derby. That's right, the M3 derby or something like that. Anyway, played whatever. The biggest win for Palace, 5-0 win. The biggest win is a 3-0 win. Of course, Palace coming to just 1 win in 6. Brighton winning 5 of them past 6 games. They've actually done a massive run of results here. Of course, they'll be taking on Brighton. Will be taking on Swansea in the cup this weekend. Palace will be taking on Brighton. They were not in the cup, but it looks like they must have crashed out. Of course, heading into this one, of course, Brighton did pick up a win against Leicester. Of course, Palace did lose to Liverpool. Odds on this one: we have 7-4 is your Palace, 13-8 is your Brighton, 21-10 is your draw. I've gone with the 1-0 for Palace at home on this one to, of course, break the hoodoo. Of course, get themselves a massive 3 points. Of course, they want to avoid relegation. That's my picks, boys. Be sure to use the code right here, cut4/Premier League, to get your own picks. Of course, as we look forward to the next round of matches in the Premier League. Of course, we have another Premier League Predictor of the Month award to be awarded as, of course, September comes to a close. And you've got to be in it to win it. So make sure you get your points in right here, right now. Until then, give the video some love, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Check out the links down below. I'm on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. Of course, plenty of FIFA 22 content coming on the channel over the next few days. So make sure you check that out. Smash your subscribe if you like that. Of course, we'll be live, of course, when it goes full. Until then, we are done. I'm out.